Hi everyone, Tracy here from Mini Scenes again. Who fancies a quickie? That sounded nicely wrong, didn't it? I figured it was that time of year again. It's November as I make this video. Is it the 23rd? 23rd, I think. Anyway, I'm mixing up some resin, as you can see. I've had this little Christmas tree mould arrive. It's a really nice soft one, which is good because it's quite an intricate shape, as you can see. I can imagine that could be difficult to demould if it wasn't. So I thought, wait, let's fill it with glitter and stuff some fairy lights in it. What could be easier? I know a lot of people were surprised after the last video I did with fairy lights that you could just, excuse me while I just, this is going to go everywhere, spray my mould with some silicone release. Mould release spray. Yes, everybody seemed surprised that I could actually stick fairy lights inside resin. Well, it's the little LED ones. They're nice and easy to poke in things, and heat to a point doesn't seem to bother them. So I've got these little ones here. We've got a battery in. Yeah, there we go. Oh, pretty sparkly lights, look. It's a string of 20, a couple of metres long there. Is it a couple of metres? Yeah, thereabouts. So, pushing my resin to one side a bit. What I'm going to do is just roll these up into a sort of a bit of a messy spiral. Start stuffing them inside the mould. There we go. Helpfully, this wibbly wobbly silicone mould is suctioning itself to my silicone mat. Isn't that handy? Right, yeah, here we go. Of course you could put any colour lights in, do what you like. I'm going to mix a little bit of glitter in with this as well. Might do a bit of glow in the dark stuff as well, so that it does something interesting when you turn them off. Just going to keep stuffing the lights in. Not at all scientific about this, as you can see. Literally just stuffing them in. Yeah, there's the last one. Then we've got this little loop at the end of the cord. Of course, the cord for these actually is wire inside, so it's well, it's plastic coated. If you bend it, it stays how you put it. So it should behave quite well inside the mould. I'm going to push it out to the sides a little bit and decide where I want my cable to come out, and I think about there. And because it's so bendy, I can clip it over the side like that. I'm trying to make sure I've got some of the lights right down into the point. Now, of course, the only problem with doing this is you are going to get bubbles trapped in amongst the fairy lights. I don't care. For this sort of thing, it really doesn't matter. So there we go. I'm just making sure they're going to stay below the surface. Other than that, I'm not too fussed what they do. There we go. Right, so I've got me got that all mixed up, the resin. Next question is what glitter to put in. I said I was going to put some glow in the dark in for a start, didn't I? And over here I should have glow in the dark stars. What's this one here? Oh, got so many different. Yeah, let's have some glow in the dark. I think the stars and dots in there. So quite a bit of that. Oh, what the hell, let's tip it all in. Easy to empty that pot anyway. And I've got some nice sparkly glitter. Do I go for that one? Don't even know where I got this from. Or do I have some silver stars and things? Yeah, let's go with this one. I think that'll go well with the glow in the dark. Let's put quite a bit in. Yeah, this one I've tried to categorise what colour these holographic glitters sparkle in. I think that's kind of pinky greeny. I don't know. So that's what I wrote on the box, on the pot. Right, I'm going to mix this up. As usual, in case I mix way too much, which I do, I'm a bit prone to, I've got another couple of pots standing by. However, I have a funny feeling this mould is going to take more glitter than expected. Resin than expected. Quick recap while I'm stirring this. I am, of course, wearing my respirator mask. Got my gloves. What you can see here is I've got underneath this mat, I've got my 20 watt heat mat, Lux resin one. Silicone mat over the top to protect it. The reason I put the mat underneath, because I'm not actually in that much of a hurry for it to cure, but the reason is if it goes runnier at first from that heat, is that enough glitter? If it goes runny enough at first from that heat, the bubbles should reduce, but I don't mind if I get some, really not that bothered. I'm just going to pour it straight in. This is the sort of project that bubbles really aren't going to matter in. In fact, if anything, it might add to the effect. Oh look, I think I judged that about right. Which is handy because this is the sort of very last of my big bottles of Lux Resin 1:1. Haven't got any more, so I would have had to top it up after it had cured with something else, because you can't mix your brand's resin. Oh, look at that, spot on. More by look than judgment. Right, there you go. Stupidly quick and easy little project for today. What I'll do when we demould this, probably in the morning now, then I'll show you what it looks like in the dark as well. Let me shut the blackout curtains in my bedroom to show you. Either that or I'll have to wait till night. As you can probably see, I don't know if you can see actually, there's some bubbles coming up there. They're going to get trapped in amongst the wires of the lights, but you know, whatever. I think that will just add to the sparkle. There we are. I will have a little skim over the surface with my torch, I think, to bring you in a bit, see if you can see the bubbles popping. Oh, come on. Ah, there we are. But to be honest, because it's on this heat mat, it should start to cure quite quickly, but first it will go very liquidy. I hope it's got down into all the points, because we can squash it about a bit. Give it a little squeeze. What I can see is a bit of the wire is coming out, so I'm going to just push that down a bit. If it insists on misbehaving later, I'm going to check it in half an hour or so. Well, I'll keep checking it every half an hour anyway. I'm impatient, so I always do that. But I'll, as it thickens, I can always push the wires in if they are starting to stick out again. I guess it must float, the fairy light wire. Could do with these bottom ones being just under the surface, really. They really don't want to play. Should have pushed them in further, shouldn't I? But I did want them to come up to just under the surface, so that's why. They're up the top of it there. I can always dome the bottom up if they're only just sticking out, can't I? A little bit of UV resin or something. I think that's going to be okay. I just didn't want them to go, you know, stop before the bottom, really. So when you think your resin pot's empty, you can always get a bit more out, can't you? There we are. I think that's just on the surface, so that'll be okay. Doesn't matter if it's really, it's just sit nicer. like I said, if the bottom ends up just slightly rough because there's little bits of wire a bit too close to the surface, I can just stick a bit of UV on the bottom. So there we go, that's it. I'm going to wander off and leave it now. That couldn't be any easier, could it? And we'll see what it looks like in a few hours, probably in the morning because it's getting on for tea time here now. Right, catch you later. Here we go then. I demoulded, came out really easily out of that mould as well. The lights are on, they still work, look, isn't that pretty? Even without the lights, it's still really pretty. You can see all the sparkle in it. So pleased with that. So we now know definitely you can put, well, I already knew, you can put LED fairy lights, this sort, into resin and it won't break them. I'll put the links below for everything you need for this project, even the batteries for the little lights here, because of course they're only button cell batteries, so they do only last a couple of days at best if you leave them on constantly, but they're cheap enough. Thank you so much to those of you who've subscribed. I really appreciate your support, and thank you also to those who've bought me a coffee. I'm well on my way now to getting that proper daylight lamp, which is my current wish list, and coming up soon as well, a new chair for my craft room. Now it's sort of kind of tidy. I will do a guided tour of my craft room once it's a bit more presentable. I'm getting there with it, I'm quite pleased, so I'll do that too. If you haven't already subscribed, just hit the little buttons down here. There's one to subscribe and one to hit a little bell if you want to be notified when I release another video. So there we go, another little simple Christmas project for you. I hope you enjoyed that one. I'll see you for the next video. Enjoy your crafting.